Hey there, I'm Jan Ditchfield, the host of No BS Business School. Before I started working with Adam, I was caught in the post-launch frustration zone. I couldn't figure out how to make my podcast grow, and it certainly wasn't making me any sales. My business was doing well, but my podcast wasn't part of my funnel. If anything, it was more like a chore than it was something that was bringing me revenue. Within 3 weeks of working with Adam, I doubled my downloads and brought an additional $6,500 in revenue into my business from my podcast. Because of everything that Adam taught me and helping me get really clear on understanding the systems, the strategies, and the funnel that was going to work for my audience, I'm now tracking to put an additional 6 figures into my business by the end of next year from my podcast. I am a fan of Adam's for life, and one of the best decisions I've ever made in my business was working with him. If you've been struggling to get your podcast to grow, if you're struggling to figure out how to monetize it, if you just need some guidance from somebody who really is in your corner, Adam's your guy.
What's up, Pod Pals? It's your buddy Adam, and you're listening to Podcasting Business School. It's a show where I teach podcasters how to love their podcast like a hobby and build it like a business. If you're a service provider and you are looking to learn how to leverage your podcast to build your online business and get more clients, you're in the right spot. Today, we're talking about a brand new framework that I call the Online Business Revenue Roadblock Analysis. We're going to figure out exactly why the revenue isn't coming in. Where is the roadblock in your business process? And I'm really excited about this one. I've, just all cards on the table. I've had this one in my back pocket for a little bit. I'm like, I'm going to kick this out on the day that I launch the Online Business Academy for Podcasters, which is today, October 1st. Very excited to be opening the doors. If you guys want more info on that, use the link in the show notes or go to the main website, podcastingbusiness.school. Click on paid services and check out the Online Business Academy for Podcasters. But inside the Academy, I'm going to use this framework. What better problem is there to solve for a podcaster that's trying to grow an online business than, okay, we're not making money. Let's solve that riddle and find out why. So this is the process that I created. I've been using this for a while. It took me forever to figure out what I'm about to teach you here today. So take good notes. This is one of those episodes you may want to listen to more than once. You may not want to listen to it on hyper speed, like 2x speed. Let's slow it down to 1.25 maybe. All you avid podcast listeners out there that are speed listeners. I like 1.25 myself. That's my podcast listening speed jam. But this is something I'm really excited about because, like I said, it took me a long time to figure this out. As podcasters, as online business owners, there are just an endless amount of things that we could be doing. And we get trapped in that where we're like, Adam says I got to build lead magnets. And okay, I'm going to build a lead magnet. Oh, he says I need to do more discovery calls. So I'm going to do that. And, I'm an information giver. I'm a teacher. But I know you guys listen to my show, you listen to other shows, and you're just pulled in a million different directions. So with this framework and with this process, I want to just get super focused, hyper focused. What is the one thing, the one area that is the revenue roadblock? Let's fix that so that income stream can flow correctly. All right, so get excited about this one. All right. So with this, we're going to look at 3 specific areas on figuring out where the revenue roadblock is. To me, it's a lead problem, it's a funnel problem, or the third area we'll look at is what I call sales and solutions. So leads, funnel, or sales and solutions. Let's dive in. All right, leads. So when we're analyzing this, we have to look at, okay, are we seeing consistent growth with podcast downloads, with your email list, with social media? Are new people coming into your world or not? If the answer is not, then we need to focus on leads, lead generation, audience growth, and then turning that audience into warm leads. All right. So again, look at your podcast downloads. Honestly, are they going up? Is your audience expanding in that area of your brand? Look at your email list. Are you putting effort into it? And if you are, is it growing? And if not, we need to put some effort into that. Social media, is your brand growing on social media or is it stagnant? So if it's not, we've got some solutions to look at. And this is the zone. This is the top of the funnel. We don't have new people coming in. We can't go from passive leads to active leads to discovery calls to new clients. So we have to fill the top part of our funnel. And this is where a lot of you really need to focus on. And periodically, like I do this analysis with my own business and with my own brand. And I'm like, oh my God, I've been spending too much time on sales and solutions. I need to get back up there and kind of reload the funnel a little bit here and really expand my audience. So if this is the target area, like, yes, this is me. I'm not seeing consistent growth with my show, with my email list, with social media. Then we need to focus on this first. Too many of us, like I just alluded to, like we need to get more leads, but we're out there spending a ton of our extra time on building solutions like offers. Okay. I would much rather you have a very simple, 2-week consultation offer that you can just set up quickly and easily and sell. Now we're good there. We got a viable option to do business with you. Let's go load the funnel, because right now that's the issue. So if you have targeted leads, like, okay, this seems like where I need to focus, let's dive into a few solution ideas. So we need to look at growing the podcast with the 3 buckets of growth. We've got optimizing your show for organic discoverability. I talk a ton about that on this show. If you guys have listened to more than 5 episodes, you hear me talk about, the SEO power of your name, the podcast host description, episode title and keywords, all that. I feel like that's 50% of the growth engine, optimizing for organic discoverability. I'll keep reminding you guys that the name of your show will either be the number one reason why your listeners find you or the number one reason why not. Let's make sure it's the number one reason why. The second bucket is effort-based marketing strategies. We got to level up there and go, okay, a new episode drops. Are we promoting that on social media? Am I guesting on other people's podcasts? Am I out there putting effort into marketing my show and marketing my episodes, using my 72-hour rule for podcast promotion, things like that? And the third bucket for podcast growth, paid marketing strategies. Are we running ads on Overcast? Are we looking at Facebook, Instagram options? All right. A lot of podcast player apps with paid strategies popping up every single day. So those are the 3 buckets to focus on with podcast growth. Then we look at, okay, email list growth, expanding there. Do I have a killer lead magnet to initiate growth within my list? If I do, are we promoting it? So maybe, I know a lot of you do. You listen to my show like, oh, I want to create a scorecard like Adam has with this podcast growth scorecard. Okay, awesome. Promote it. So if you've got something solid, and maybe, we can't be that person that's like, I built the scorecard. I talked about it once on social media. No one got it. Fail. Like, this is probably a situation where, all right, you've got a solid lead magnet. Let's promote it for 4, 6, 8 weeks on your social media, on your podcast. Let's really start to stir that up and build that list. The third area, we got to find that social media platform where you feel like you can easily connect with ideal potential audience members. So, I've been experimenting a lot. Let's use me as an example right now, because I did a big experimentation phase when I first became a podcaster. Then I kind of honed in on Instagram, focused on that for like 3 years. And then that growth really stalled out. So I started broadening my social media horizons a little bit, kind of looking for some new social media platforms to date a little bit, so to speak. And, for me, it's Threads. Like, Threads has become my number one social media platform because it is so easy for me to connect with you all. I know some of you listening right now, I might have commented on a thread that you posted, or you saw me comment on another thread and you got connected. Maybe you asked a question. I go, hey, check out this episode because I think it'll help you out. It is so easy for me. And I'm not recommending this for everybody. Like, I know a lot of you are killing it on TikTok or YouTube shorts and things like that. I'm posting there, but none of you are coming to me going, hey, I found you on TikTok. YouTube shorts are driving me crazy because one of them will get 14 listens. Next one will do 400. And the only comments are mean people. I had a guy that was like, why would I listen to you? You're nobody in the podcasting world and you don't even have any experience. I was like, pardon me, sir. I've got 1,000 episodes, over 1 million. I've dropped stats on him. They'll just put it that way. I dropped stats on him and he didn't reply. I assume it's a guy because only guys act like that on social media. So, anyway, that's my rant on social media. But there's be, some of you out there just crushing it with YouTube shorts. And that's your growth engine on social media. but we got to find that. We got to be out there looking for it is the main idea here. We can't just go, I put out episodes and that's it. And you never talk about your show. You're not expanding your audience. You're not growing your audience with your podcast, with your email list, with your social media. So those are some solution ideas. Again, if you decide to join the Online Business Academy for Podcasters, you and I are going to be working on this. So if you're like, I'm really not sure which one I should even focus on, that's where I come in. And I go, oh, I see you do have a great lead magnet. I see you have not promoted it. Let's put 8 weeks of effort into doing that. And let's double your email list size from where it's at right now. That's the low hanging fruit. That's what we need to focus on. So that's kind of the advantage of tagging your buddy Adam in here. All right, let's look at the second potential revenue roadblock, the funnel. So the main question we have to ask is, are leads moving down our client conversion pathway? So I did an episode recently about this. Yet another framework, the client conversion pathway. So that looks like as follows. The first area of the client conversion pathway, the first stepping stone is passive and free. That's when people are podcast listeners. They're passive podcast listeners, or they follow you on social media. They consume stuff, but it's only the free stuff and they don't actually interact with you. We want to move them down that pathway to the next stepping stone, which is active and free. And, doing things like a coaching style episode with you or a community style episode, or they're just engaging with you on social media. They interact with you on an Instagram live, or they're doing a free workshop with you. They participate in a challenge. And then from there, we try to move them into what I call a discovery call bridge, and then into an ideal fit offer. So when we are looking at the funnel, a lot of times we got to look at, okay, is our audience growing? Like if we feel good about our audience expansion, like new people are coming in, email list is growing, podcast listens are going up, social media is growing steadily. Then we look at this funnel and go, why aren't they going from passive free to active free? And a lot of times it's because we don't have any activation offers out there. Like you aren't doing a workshop or a webinar. You aren't doing coaching style episodes. You aren't offering anything to activate them. Again, that's something that I'm going to see and go, okay, this is the most obvious thing that's causing the revenue roadblock. Let's get into activating your audience. Your growth is fine. New people are coming in. We need to activate them. Or maybe you are, but they aren't signing up for discovery calls. We aren't loading up your discovery call bridge where you can actually put an ideal fit offer in front of somebody. So we analyze that and go, all right, maybe we need to increase discovery call focus promo. So let's go on your show. Let's maybe do an episode about your discovery call, if that makes sense. Who's that a good fit for? What does that, look like? But definitely doing some focus promo and going, okay, twice a week on your Instagram story, I need you to have something with a clickable link to a discovery call, like a little go on Canva, nerd out on there a little bit. We got to promote these. Sponsor your episodes with an intro and outro about your discovery calls. Like, well, come up with a strategy for focused promo on discovery calls. All right. So again, with this funnel, the main question is, are leads moving down the client conversion pathway? Most of the time we have audience growth in that passive free zone and we're not activating them. We're not moving them to the next step. And it's really hard. It's possible, but it's really hard to go from passive free into an ideal fit offer, like skipping those other steps, especially as you're a newer podcaster, if you're new to online marketing, if you're newer to building online businesses, it's really hard to do that. And that's the revenue roadblock. All right. We got to take you down this pathway and take your ideal listeners and ideal audience members down this pathway. So that's where we analyze the funnel issue. Okay. The third zone is in sales and solutions. So if this is the issue, if this is the revenue roadblock, what that looks like is, again, your leads are growing. Your audience is expanding regularly. Again, podcast downloads month to month, increase, email lists growing slow and steady, social media growing slow and steady. People are moving down that client conversion pathway. The funnel is working. So they're going from passive free to active free. You're booking discovery calls, but then maybe there's an issue there. We're not making sales. And it's either a sales problem or a solution problem. So here's some important things to think about. If you're like, okay, it seems like this area is the actual revenue roadblock for me. So the first thing we have to ask is, what is your closing rate with your discovery calls? This is something that needs to be tracked. It's that whole Pearson's law. I've mentioned this a few times, but what gets measured improves. What gets measured and reported improves at a more rapid pace. So like I have a dashboard that I created where I track my discovery calls, my follow-ups. I have notes on everybody that does discovery calls with me. And I track my closing rate every single month. And I know that I need to have 15 or more discovery calls every single month. And I always have good business months. So that's a focused key performance indicator. So that's, are we tracking our discovery call stats? Are we setting goals around how many we want to achieve each month? And then what does that closing rate look like? Another question to think about: does the offer or the offers that you're putting out there solve the actual pain point that your leads want to solve? Does the offer solve the pain point that your leads want to solve? This is an issue. This is something I really struggled with my health brand when I first launched the Million Pound Mission podcast. Is I was creating offers that I thought were needed and cool, but it wasn't what my ideal listeners / potential clients actually needed. Or the packaging wasn't exactly right. Maybe the offer was good, but it was trying to be a group membership, but it needed to be a one-on-one consultation. So being able to analyze this area of your business can be really hard. It can be really hard. At the time, I had to pay somebody to come in and look at my business and go, why in the world is this not working? All right. So again, this is a huge advantage of having someone else come in and look at your business with fresh, unbiased eyes, because we all love our offers. They're our babies. And we're like, I can't believe no one is buying this. This is perfect. This is exactly what they need. But maybe that offer is a 5% tweak away from being the exact right fit offer. And you just can't see it because it's your baby, and nobody has an ugly baby, right? Or no, nobody thinks their own baby is ugly. That's what it is. That's the correct thing. All right. So we have to look at that again. It helps to have outside people looking at that with unbiased eyes. All right. Next thing we got to look at is pricing. And I'll tell you this is going to blow your minds. When I'm working with online business owners and we're talking about pricing, most of the time the issue is that you are charging too little. People are not taking your offer seriously. You've got this big, giant, robust offer with group coaching and some one-on-ones and courses, and it's $37. People don't take $37 seriously. All right. So most of the time I'm telling people, I challenge my clients. I'm like, what's your $1,500 offer? What is your $1,500 offer? I don't care what your niche is. I don't care if you got a show for people that own pets or group, therapy or nutrition and fitness or personal growth, meditation, business, social media. I don't care. There's a $1,500 offer waiting for you. If you don't think that that's true for your brand, challenge me. I'll create one for you. I mean, I got this. I've never had anybody that I've worked with that we haven't been able to create a $1,500 or more offer for. All right. So a lot of times our pricing is too little. People aren't taking it seriously, and we have to level up the price. I've been there. I've done that. I've helped a lot of people level up in this area. And every once in a while, I'm like, you're charging a little bit too much right now. Let's lower it and stair step it up. But I would say 80% of the time, people are undercharging. So again, having someone else look at that going, I've been where you are. We need to upgrade your pricing here. This is what's holding us back. People are not taking this offer seriously because they see all this value, and then you way underprice it, and you're in the bargain bin. You are a Timex, not a Rolex, and they want a Rolex solution. So let's be that. All right. Next thing, we got to look at your discovery call onboarding. This is where I used to fumble a lot, but I've got this super dialed in. So the discovery call onboarding, I'm not just talking about reminder emails. I'm talking about the questions we are asking them, the tone we are setting with the questions that we are asking these people that are signing up for discovery calls, the marketing, the branding of the discovery calls. All right. Like we have to, like when I do discovery call, that is, people call it different things. We're talking about, should we work together? All right. And I make that clear in the onboarding. Like, I'm getting ready to do a big free workshop. I'm doing a monthly workshop at the time of recording this, getting ready to do one here in a couple hours. And I'm not going to sell anything off that, but I'll promote my discovery call, and I'll tell people. I got a whole bunch of people coming to this thing. I'll be like, listen, do not sign up for this if you just want free coaching. We've got podcast audits for that. Do that. If you are interested in getting help from me, this is the thing to do. Get on my calendar. So I set that tone. And when people are in the onboarding process, I'm asking them, what do you need to solve? And what is your budget for solving this? Those are two critical questions to ask before we get on the actual discovery call. All right. So we need to look at your discovery call onboarding. Maybe you aren't setting it up, and maybe that's causing, the next thing we need to analyze is, are the right people getting on discovery calls? If you're having a bunch of tire kickers and freebie seekers, then that's not good. That's eating up your calendar. Those aren't serious leads. Those aren't serious prospects that are actually thinking about working with you. That is a waste of time. That is eating up your calendar to where maybe that ideal fit potential client is looking on your calendar like, oh, no spots available at the time I needed because all the tire kickers are there filling it up. So are the right people getting on discovery calls? If you notice that you're not creating sales, but all these people are like, man, this really isn't a good fit client, we need to adjust some of the knobs and dials. All right. Discovery call execution. That's another thing we need to look at, is like, if it's a home run, you have a great rapport with the person that you're talking to. It's going great. They're interested. You're interested. You've got a right fit offer, the right price point with their budget. You have to be able to close the deal and go, hey, this is what I think. This is what I want you to do. I'm not into hard sell tactics at all. I'm anti that, but we need to put that in front of them and go, this is what I recommend. All right. This is the best place to start. Let them think about it. Sometimes they close right there. I'm not going to promote weird tactics. Like, if you close the laptop, the price doubles or anything like that. I don't do that. I don't want to convince somebody or hard sell somebody to work with me, because that turns into most of the time a kind of a strained client relationship, because they're not a good fit. We're trying to put that square peg in the round hole, and there's that feeling the entire time that I'm working with them, and I don't like that. And so I don't sell that way. Now, the last thing we have to look at with the sales and solutions revenue roadblock is, do we have an effective follow-up process? Like, let's say the discovery call goes great. All of a sudden, they're like, I'm going to think about this. I tell people, if you're spending more than $1,000 with me, I want you to think about it for 24 hours. I'm the opposite of hard sell. I'm like, hey, I know you're ready to rock. Think about this for 24 hours. Feel good tomorrow. I'll follow up. I tell them I'll follow up. Let's get it going. So do you have a place that you're tracking your discovery call connections, your leads, and go, okay, this was the day that I talked to this person. Here's all their contact information. Here's how it went. Here's their budget. Here's the offer that I put in front of them. Here's my follow-up strategy. When am I going to get a hold of these people again? I do this all in my online business dashboard. That's going to be a big part of the academy. Shameless plug. So I do it all inside of there. I've got an effective follow-up process where I kind of feel like, somebody just needs some more time, or if they're responding like, hey, yeah, ready to go. Let's do it. Cool. If they're kind of blowing me off a little bit, I give them some space. I'm like, hey, I'm going to follow up. And it's probably, I'll follow up the next day, maybe a week later, about the offer. And if I'm getting crickets, then I'm like, hey, I need to back off. The next time I have a cool free activator, like a workshop that I think this person would be interested in, I'm going to follow up with them and invite them back. And that's a really effective follow-up strategy. All right, Pod Pals. I hope that you're fired up about this. I hope that this has provided some clarity, because like I said, this framework took me a long time to master. It took me a long time to develop, but it's been a business saver for me. It's been so helpful, because now I can go, okay, what is the actual revenue roadblock? Where do I need to focus? Is it the leads area? Is it the funnel area? Or is it in sales and solutions? So hopefully you can go back. Like I said, this may be a two listener. You may have to go back and listen to it once or twice again. And I want, the goal of this is to walk away with one area at least and go, okay, it's one of the three. Which of the three does it really seem to be? And then consider some of those solutions. And again, if you want help with this, the Online Business Academy for Podcasters is open for business. The first 25 people get founding member pricing. This is something that I'm in prove-it mode, and there's nothing more dangerous than a motivated Adam. And like, I just blow you guys away. For those of you that cross that line and go, I'm serious about building my online business as a podcaster. I want to figure this out. I don't want to be in this zone of frustration where I don't make any meaningful income. I've priced it to be very advantageous where you can do this on a budget. And so it's even better with the first 25 people that get in. The doors are open. You can go on there. You can sign up right now. All right. The link will be in the show notes. You can also go to the main page, podcastingbusiness.school, click on paid services, and click on the Online Business Academy for Podcasters and get signed up. And if you're not sure, click on the discovery call button. There's only 3 buttons on my website, y'all. Click on that discovery call button, not hard to find. And we can hop on the calendar and talk about, is this the right solution for you? Or is there something else that I have that might be? All right. I appreciate you all. I'm very excited about the show and all the support. And I can't wait to dig in with those of you that decide to take that next step and really help you build your online business. All right. I'm going to send you out in the world wishing you health, happiness, and many downloads. I will see you on the next episode. Breaking news, Pod Pals. My online business academy for podcasters will be launching on Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. This is the only online business academy just for podcasters that want to leverage their show to build an online business and get more clients. If you're interested in earning meaningful income every month with a podcast-first marketing strategy, this membership is for you. And this membership offer is backed by my $5,000 guarantee. I'm guaranteeing that you'll gain at least $5,000 in new revenue and new clients within your first 12 months of being in the academy. And if you don't, I'm going to keep coaching you within the academy for free until you do. I'm capping the membership at 50 total podcasters, and the membership price goes up after the first 20 podcasters sign up. Use the link in the show notes or head on over to www.podcastingbusiness.school to get on the waitlist to join. You'll have the first chance to grab one of those 50 roster spots and get the best pricing. Everything's launching on October 1st, so grab your spot on the waitlist and get ready to take your podcast-focused online business to the next level.